Big word alert. Existential. Do you know what it means? Neither did I. I had to, though. I've heard it many, many times over my lifetime. I've never actually sat and studied it or wondered what it meant, but I was forced to recently because of a homework assignment for school for me. And I had to dive into that word existential and found that it's all surrounding meaning and purpose. And I wonder if you guys have ever been like me and actually asked yourself, like, why am I here? What am I like? Really? What is this? Why we're here. We're humans on a planet, just kind of walking around and interacting with each other. What's the purpose? What's the end game? That's what basically thinking existentially is you are looking for purpose. You're seeking what is the purpose of maybe our existence as people, my individual life, all the things. What am I meant to do? And I talk to you guys all the time about my own personal story. I talk to you about times where, I couldn't find a place to sleep for the night. And so I'm sitting somewhere outside in one of my 3 or 4 spots that I have go-tos, or maybe I'm sleeping in my car that night, or maybe I'm breaking into another friend's or neighbor's or whoever's, garage or pole barn to hole up for the night. And the whole time I'm thinking, man, why me? Why is this happening to me? And I guarantee some of you have had that same thought. And for a while there, it just lingered with me. Why me? And then I've shared with a lot of you already now, doing what I do today for a living, getting to spend time with you guys and hear your stories and hopefully help you and impact your life in a positive way by sharing a little bit of what I had been through. That's why me. And that's why you too. You just aren't seeing it right now because it's not happening. It's not unfolding. That's down the road for you. You will share all of your experiences that you're collecting now to those that need you when it's time. Now we're just concentrating on ourselves, right? We're building ourselves up. We're trying to get through our own challenges in life. And one day, all of what you're doing at this moment is going to be a beautiful story of resilience and victory and overcoming challenges and all, self-exploration and improvement, all of that. But right now, we're in the habit, we're breaking cycles. We're breaking cycles because we're cycle breakers, baby. Thank you, by the way, to the one of you that, and you know who you are. We were sitting together in the intake room and we were talking to one of your team members on your team for your case, and you said, we're cycle breakers, baby. And I got all warm and fuzzy and I almost started crying because I was like, we sure are. Okay. I've asked that a lot. And when especially I really went through a major crisis, not only back when I'm telling you guys about this, but for those of you that know my story, a lot of the only reason I was able to get out of my circumstances was because I could run a football. But when all of the years that people only paid attention to me because I could run a football, they didn't care that I was sleeping outside and all that stuff, or they didn't care to explore and find out, why I was all over the place and living all over. When those years, though, ended and those football years were done, I had my identity, the only thing I knew self-worth was being a football player, and then it ended. I was done playing. And then I didn't know who in the world I was. Existentially, I was thinking, I have no purpose, zero. There's no meaning for me on this earth anymore because I don't have any value if I don't have a football in my hand. And that's far from true. And actually, I heard, unfortunately, not our judge, but I heard a judge this week say that to another young person that I know, that basically the only reason that they're getting second chances and getting help is because they're a very good athlete. And that's unfortunate because that has nothing to do with that person's identity or the reason why they're getting second chances. It's because we all deserve them, and we all deserve to be loved and give love and receive love and all the things I've been telling a lot of you. Your identity is uniquely you, and your purpose is uniquely you, and it's up to you to figure that out. And I've made videos in the past I kind of talk about like how hard it is to see past what's right in front of us. When really we got to start thinking out here, right? Like long game. And for you guys, those of you that are, in situations, you're on probation, maybe you're detained, maybe you're in foster care, it's just right here. You just want to get out of that situation. And that's all you can think about. But then what? Right? That's where the real work starts. And I've pressed a few of you lately about like, yeah, cool. I want you to get out and live your life too. But then what? When does the real work begin? It begins when you're out of here. It begins when you're off probation. It begins when you're out of detention. It begins when you're out doing life. That's where you shine and show your true purpose. So really, my challenge to you guys today is to start thinking existentially. And that means, what is my purpose? My purpose isn't to get out of detention or get off probation and go back into the same stuff, because guess what? That cycle that you were in, it didn't work. It did not work. And I promise you, if you fall back into it, it's not going to work again. And you can't stay in it. So now you got help. You got help available for you. And if you feel like you're not getting the right kind of help, start a new cycle of advocating for yourself, asking for help, being brave enough to admit, hey, I don't got a handle on this, or I need help and guidance and support, and I just, I'm not ready for this. This whole life thing, it's gonna overtake me if I don't reach out. So that's the bravest, strongest thing you can do, is ask others for help. But right now it's about finding, what is our purpose? What is our existential purpose? Why are we here? I argue that my purpose was to break cycles in my own life, right? So my kids their whole life is completely different than mine because of that. Yours might be too, right? If you were the product of a cycle, your parents or grandparents went through it, and now you're living it too, and that you can kind of see your life going the same way, break that thing. Break it now with the helps that are available to you, and if you don't have them, ask for them, reach for them. Heck, demand them, because we all deserve it. You know what I mean? Advocate for yourself and be strong for yourself. Your identity and your purpose is out there. We got to find it, though. And you all have one, even though you convince yourself, and that little voice in your head and my head and always creeps in every now and then says, there's no need for you. Like, what are you even doing here? Nobody cares. Nobody wants to help you. It's all false. You have a purpose. You have a meaning. You have goals that hopefully are farther than just right here. Hopefully they're out there. And if you don't, let's talk, man. Let's set them, because I promise you things get better. But like the sign says behind me, and I think it's backwards for you guys, but it says nothing works unless you do. So we got to put in some work. But most importantly, baby, we got to break them cycles.